What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Justin, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the top 5 reasons why I love my Toyota GR Supra. So I've actually been wanting to make this video for quite a while. It took a little bit of time for me to think of the actual 5 reasons because I have a lot more than 5 and there's a lot to say about the car. Alright, so the first reason why I like this car is, well, the looks of it. Whether you love it or you hate it, the new 2020 GR Supra is definitely something that catches a lot of attention, for better and for worse. But for me, myself, I just love the way that the car looks. I love the way that the car sits, even in stock form. As you can see, just off of the stock suspension, it sits really nice. It's got a pretty decent tire setup the way it is right now, and the rear of the car, that's one of my favorite parts of it. It's just really wide the way it sits, and that rear fender really just pulls it together right here. It just makes it look like it's got a really big setup at the back. And yeah, I just love the way it looks from the outside. It definitely pulls a lot of attention. And yeah, I mean, it just looks great. I just love the way that car looks. One thing that I have noticed about this car is that whenever I take it out, it's almost 100% guaranteed that I'll at least have 1 or 2 people come up and approach me, either when I park the car or pump it at the gas station, or even just at a stoplight. A lot of people will just roll their windows down, try to get my attention, and ask me. Actually, a lot of people don't even know what the car is. A lot of people ask me, hey, what is that car? And I tell them, hey, you know, it's a Toyota Supra, this and that. And a lot of times people don't even believe that it's a Toyota. I mean, it looks pretty exotic the way that it's. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely an attention grabber. I know when the car first came out, a lot of people were disappointed because it didn't look like the prototype. For me personally, I really love the dimensions of the car. It's actually on the smaller side of things. When you park this next to the E36 M3, they're actually kind of similar. The only difference is the hood on the Toyota Supra is much longer in comparison to the rear, but that's just something that I personally like about the car too. All right, so the number 2 reason why I love the Toyota Supra is the way it actually rides and the comfort of the vehicle. What I mean by that is the actual interior of the vehicle and the way that it was put together and the build quality of the car, pretty much. So let's take a look inside. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so we are inside of the car right now. So what I mean by the actual interior and build and comfort of the vehicle is just the way that everything is put together and the build quality of everything. You can still hear a couple of creaks here and there, but in comparison to other vehicles that I've been in, not too bad. It does look really well put together. Everything's just streamlined. Steering wheel looks a little generic, but it is comfortable. Yeah, just the fit and finish of the vehicle is just something that I really enjoyed. Everything is just nice and soft touch materials. And it's quite practical too. You also have 2 cup holders in the car, so if you have any Starbucks or, you know, water bottles or anything like that, they fit easily in here. And trunk space is actually not bad as well. I have taken the vehicle on a couple of longer drives, you know, 2 hours to the Bay Area. For the most part, I can't really complain in terms of the comfort of the car. As we all know already, the car is part BMW, so you do have that BMW fit and finish, which I do enjoy. Seating wise, the chairs themselves are quite comfortable. They are bolstered and they're adjustable on the sides. So it definitely feels like it cradles me in the car, and it just feels great. I love the way that the car feels. It's very comfortable inside. One thing that I really do appreciate about these types of cars, especially the Toyota Supra, is that there is adjustability in terms of sport mode and normal mode. So really, with the touch button right here, I can adjust the way the car feels. Suspension wise, it'll stiffen up in sport mode, it'll shift much more aggressive, accelerate much more aggressive, and the pedal just feels a lot more receptive and responsive when you put it into sport mode. But I like to call that button actually sport mode, aka fun hoonigan mode. And of course, when you push that sport mode button and put it back to normal, I call that Camry mode, because really it just feels really good on the road when you want it to just be, you know, a daily commuter, quiet, incognito, A to B daily car. And what I mean by that is that my wife, she does have a Toyota Camry, and it really does feel quite the same when you put it into normal mode. It softens the suspension, feels great over bumps. It's just a really comfortable ride. And then when you want to go have fun, you pop it into sport mode, louder active exhaust, tighter suspension, much more responsive throttle. So the car really does a little bit of everything just quite well. I'd say it's a pretty good jack of all trades, or a good Gran Turismo car. And just another addition in regards to comfort is just having really nice, strong air conditioning. The E36 M3 does have air conditioning. Granted, it's not the strongest and it's not the coldest, but coming into a newer car like this, and I don't even know if this is just a pro just because it's a new car, not necessarily necessarily the Toyota Supra, but going into a car that actually blows cold and actually has a strong fan in it just makes you appreciate things, and oh, that's just so comfortable to have really cold AC. Alright guys, reason number 3 why I love my Toyota Supra is the amount of performance that you get with the minimal modifications that you need to do for the car. Let me go ahead and pop the hood so I can show you what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so this portion is going to be actually quite short and simple. Not very much to show you underneath the hood because it does look stock, but I can guarantee you it's not. It's a little hard to see guys, but I do have an active auto work catted downpipe way down there. It is a catted downpipe, but it does help the car breathe a little easier. On top of that too, I have a drop-in air filter as well as an E50 tune, which I installed a flex fuel kit to run across the back here. You can't really see it because I did a pretty good job hiding all the wires, but it is running a flex fuel E50 tune. So essentially the 3 things I have on here is a active auto work catted downpipe, flex fuel kit, and a tune. Alright guys, let's talk some numbers here. So the stock 2020 Toyota GR Supra usually runs around 335 horsepower and 360 foot-pounds of torque. I believe that those were the factory numbers that were manufactured for the car and what Toyota had stated. But a lot of people on the forums and a lot of people on YouTube have already shown that this car makes way more than that, and that it's actually probably closer to wheel horsepower as opposed to the crank. So for this particular vehicle, I do have an active auto work catted downpipe, a drop-in K&N air filter, E50 flex fuel kit, as well as a Pro Tune, and this car should be making closer to 480 wheel horsepower and close to 550, 560 wheel torque. So putting those numbers into perspective, guys, all things considered, all together with the Pro Tune, the downpipe, as well as the flex fuel kit and drop-in air filter, I spent less than $2,000 on modifications to essentially take this car from a 310, 320-ish wheel horsepower car to closer to 480. So you're getting more than 150 wheel horsepower for less than $2,000. And in comparison to other options that you do have out there in the market, that's a pretty good deal in regards to the money that you spend and the amount of power that you get. Another good thing about the Toyota Supra in performance is if you have the tune for it, you can run an E85 mix. Yeah, for $299 for E85, that's actually on the more pricier side because the gas is getting more expensive. But I mean, for the performance gain that you get off of E85, mixing it with 91 to try to get that E50 blend, especially on stock fuel, you can get a lot of power out of these things. And to be honest with you guys, the tunability of the car was one of the main reasons why I actually wanted to buy it. A lot of these BMW type platform cars, especially the ones with the turbos, are well known to take tunes and modifications quite well. So if you're somebody who really wants just cheap, affordable power, or in terms of the amount of money that you have to spend to get power and to go fast, this is definitely one of those cars I would highly consider. Alright guys, and one last tidbit about performance. This is also a controversial opinion, goes against the grain, but it is an automatic. And the only reason why I say that this is a pro, and a reason why I love this car, is because despite the fact that it is a torque converter, 8-speed transmission, it shifts blistering quick, it's fast, and boy does it shift. I'm telling you, like, this thing shifts hard and quick. You would think it was a dual clutch how quickly it shifts. And you know, initially this was a big knock on the car because who can argue with a 6-speed, save the manuals? I understand, and I do think that Toyota definitely dropped the ball by not allowing an option for a 6-speed manual transmission. But guys, you can't knock the car until you actually drive it, okay? Like, the driving dynamics of the car are quite good, considering that it's just an automatic. And you know, granted, you're not getting that attachment that you would with a 6-speed, being with the car and the machine. You know, don't knock it till you try it. I was along the same camp. I've had friends and family who've also driven this car, my personal car, who have also changed their opinion on the automatic in the vehicle just by simply driving the car. I mean, you know, you automatically think automatic, ew, disgusting, but if you're going after speed, guys, nothing can shift faster than an automatic. If you guys get a chance to drive this car yourself, that it changes your mind on it too, and hopefully it can be a pro for you as well. Alright guys, reason number 4 for loving my Toyota GR Supra is it's a conversation starter. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Like I said earlier in the video, the way that it looks, the badge that's on the car, the fact that it was worked on with BMW. No matter where you go, if it's a Cars and Coffee, a car meet, a cruise, or something like that, there's always at least one person that will approach you and talk to you about the car. And that's just one thing that I do enjoy about the car. It's definitely a conversation starter for not just car people, guys. Not just for car people, guys. It's just for, you know, general people that are on the road. They just can't help but ask about the car, and that's one thing that I do love about it. Is that yeah, it gathers attention. It definitely does that, for better or for worse. But it's something that I do enjoy, and I do love talking about the car. I'm just super enthusiastic about it, and you know, at the end of the day, it makes me happy. So it's definitely something that I would highly consider being a like and a love for the car and a pro for sure. So as an example of it being a conversation starter. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed that I did have a flat on one of my rear tires and it had a screw in it. So I took it over to American Tire, and there was an older gentleman there who I parked next to, and he got out of his car and he said, "Hey, what is that thing?" And I told him, I said, "It's a Toyota Supra." And he didn't even know what it was. We had a nice conversation about it, and from there it just segued from talking about cars to just, you know, meeting new people and just having a good conversation. So you know, that's one thing that I really do enjoy about the car. Also, guys, just another thought. Whenever I'm driving this car, in terms of conversation starters, it's not really a conversation, but more of an indirect conversation. And what I mean by that is people essentially taking photos, taking pictures, videos while I'm driving the car. A lot of the times too, it's a lot of kids that you could tell like they're just taking photos of the car while they're behind me at a stoplight, or even at a stoplight right next to me. They're giving me thumbs up, taking pictures. You know, the old meme, "Is that a Supra?" kind of deal. So those are just things too that just put a smile on my face. There was a point when you were a kid and you saw a cool car and it just made you smile, made you laugh, and it just puts that spark in you to want to get a car like that growing up. And just driving around the way it is now with not just the E36 but also with the Supra, and seeing that with kids growing up as well, just remember that at one point in your life you were also that kid, and someone that's your age now as an adult can put a smile on their face, and that person can grow up to be a car enthusiast just like you and I. So definitely something that I enjoy about the car. Semi-conversation starter, but yeah, that's another pro and another thing that I love about owning the 2020 GR Supra. And lastly, guys, the fifth and final reason why I love this car, and it's a controversial reason, is because it is a BMW. A lot of people will give me flack for that. You know, hey, it's a BMW, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But to be honest, these are the reasons why I do like it being a BMW. Number one, it's an inline-six turbo. BMW has been doing a great job since like the 335 series with the N54 motors, all the way up until this point with turbocharged inline-six motors. They're making crazy amounts of power, decent reliability, and yeah, they just know how to make a really good sports car. Nothing will touch the way German engineering does for their interior and the comfort in their cars, which is a reason why the 3 Series has been such the gold standard for interior design and exterior design for luxury cars. BMW has always held a special place to me. I've owned an E30 in the past. I've also owned an E36 M3 currently, which is supercharged. The BMW comments never bothered me, so when I first heard that the car was going to be a BMW / Supra / Toyota, or whatever you want to call it, you know, it kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth at first until you actually drive the car and see the car in person. Just to summarize everything, I love the looks of the car. I love the comfort of the car. I love the performance that you get. I also love the fact that it's a conversation starter and the fact that it is a BMW. But at the end of the day, those are things that I personally love about the car, and I think those things will change from person to person. All I can say is that, you know, you can't really judge the car until you actually drive it, see it in person, get a feel for it, and come up to your own opinion. Don't listen to people. Don't even listen to people like me until you actually come up with your own opinions about the car, and you have to see it for yourself. And there you have it, guys. That's all I got for today's video. The top 5 reasons why I personally love my Toyota Supra. I'll go ahead and make a top 5 things I do not like about my Supra in the future. So be on the lookout for that. There's definitely a couple of things on that list that I do want to discuss, so it's going to be a fun video to do that one as well. So that's pretty much it for today's video. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, follow my builds, follow my channel, see the shenanigans I get into, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. I greatly appreciate it, guys. You guys have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. Remember, respect your elders. Peace.